Hi, this show is Center Stage. You are on the Think Tech Hawaii Digital Series. My name is Donna Blanchard. I'm your host and proud managing director of Kumakuoi Theater. Here at Think Tech, we are bringing you energy, technology, diversity, and globalization. Here on the show today, we're going to be talking with Rei-Chung Fujihara of Box Jelly. We're going to get to him in just a moment. First, I would like to say that we broadcast live every weekday on Spreaker.com and Ustream.tv. You can check out all of our shows live on thinktechhawaii.com. You can also find our archives there, thinktechhawaii.com, and look for the search drop-down. Now, to my guest, I'm very happy to have you. This is an interesting fellow. Rei-Chung is the founder and enzyme of Box Jelly, Hawaii's first co-working space. He's also co-founder at Blue Startups, Hawaii's first seed accelerator, as well as co-founder of Jump School. And he's taught entrepreneurship for BizSmart Global at Punahou School and Cathedral St. Kanan School, which is ranked the #1 school in India in 2011, in Mumbai, India. Rei-Chung has studied in Tokyo, Japan, and interned at Shanghai, China. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here.
Now, okay, so normally the show's Center Stage. Normally I talk with artists and we talk about their process. But I think that the reason I asked you to come on the show is, first of all, I'm very curious about Box Jelly and all that you do and how and why it works. And it seems to me that there is an artistic process behind what has come together there.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So first of all, let's talk about Box Jelly. Can you describe that? What is it?
Sure. So Box Jelly is Hawaii's first co-work space. So it's basically a place for independent people to go and get things done, have meetings. We have like a workspace so people can work. So instead of working at your house or at Starbucks, you can go to a place where there's a bunch of like-minded people. Most of the people there are independent, so maybe they're freelancers or they're starting up a company, or they work, for a company on the mainland and they're just kind of here, or working on a specific project, on their off time, and they just come there to do work. It's kind of like a gym with a membership, except instead of working on your body, you're working on your projects.
Your business.
Your business, yeah.
So, why would someone want to do that rather than working in their home or at Starbucks?
Sure. So there are benefits from working at home too, and I still work at home at times, but sometimes at home there are a lot of distractions, like the refrigerator for me, or animal, like pets, like hanging out, laundry, there's just like a lot of funny distractions, and also that isolation, just being in your house. People really enjoy going to a co-working space because you're just surrounded by a lot of interesting people. Like, everyone's doing their own thing. There are a lot of people who are in town from out of town, and they're kind of like, passing through. So there's a lot of really great conversation. It stimulates ideas. Some people end up collaborating on different projects, not all the time, but a fair amount of time. And they're just kind of like an energy there. For Starbucks, it's not really optimized to be a place to work. It's a place to get coffee, and it's like a different kind of a third space. And there, I think the sense of community is a little bit different. Although you might see the person, the same people, it's a little bit different.
It's more social.
Yeah, it's more social. I mean, both are social, but they're just social in different ways. And also in Box Jelly, we have like quiet areas, we have conference rooms, so we have printers, so it's really built to work on your projects and build your businesses.
Yeah. So you said it's like a membership, and it kind of is, because you can do a sort of drop-in, a one-day charge, very nominal charge to be there and have access to Wi-Fi and water cooler and stuff like that, or you can pay for a regular anytime you want to go in membership, and then there's a dedicated desk is another step up.
Yeah. So like you can either drop in for the day, and we just got a Morning Glass next door, which we're super stoked about. So you can grab your coffee and you can kind of work for the day. Or if you know you're going to come frequently, you might as well just become a member, and then you can either use a hot desk, so sit at any open desk. You can have a reserved desk that's just for you. We also have anchor tenants that need a door. For instance, like Uber is an anchor tenant. They're like the app to get taxis. They're global. Kua is another one, and they're a nonprofit that is about network for people who are stewards of land in a very kind of conscious way. So we have a wide variety of different people with different needs, and we just try to fill those needs. We have event space, so if you want to do a workshop or a film screening or different kind of things, you can use the event space. We're attached to Fish Cake, which has its gallery. We have our gallery. We both have different curators. We have different styles. So that's about being inspired, right? So you kind of bring beautiful things around the space. Then hopefully that can help create beautiful work.
Yeah, well, let me say that I had an at-home office back in the mid-90s. When you didn't really see people working in a Starbucks yet. We weren't there yet, and I thought this was going to be the best of all possible worlds, that I was going to be able to work at home, and it's hard. And when you talk about laundry, it's funny how many things you will do rather than work when they're available right there. I would get a phone call, and while I was on the call, I would wander out of my office and downstairs, and I'd say, oh, the dishwasher needs to be emptied. It's really easy to get yourself out of the mindset of just doing your work.
Yeah, definitely. It works both ways too, right? Like I just leave my computer. I don't bring my computer home. I just leave it at work. I might bring an iPad home or something. But that way, when you go home, you can just relax. Leave your work, at the workplace, and then you can just have your place where you can just relax. And I think, in this day and age, with your mobile phones and everything like that, work and life are definitely getting integrated together. And that's just how it is, but it is nice to kind of have a separation at times where you can just turn off, just turn your phone on airplane mode and just like hang out at home and, eat some food and just relax.
I never thought about it, that this actually gives you that opportunity to turn off, because you're right. Yeah, that was another thing when I had my office at home. I was in the Midwest and I had clients on both coasts. So I was technically at work from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day, which now that I manage a theater, it's worse. But but you're right. This does give you this does give you an opportunity to shut off, as well as like back then, I joined the Chamber of Commerce just to, there are lots of benefits to joining a Chamber of Commerce, but mostly I just wanted some face-to-face contact rather than just everything on the phone or on the computer. And sometimes I would go to Starbucks just to
be around
because
people.
I was alone.
Yeah, exactly. It's not necessarily you need to talk to people sometimes, but it's nice to be around people, so.
Oh, yeah. So how is it, you said companies like Uber need a door? Did you say? What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. So like needing a door is basically just when we first started Box Jelly, everything was open, and it was like this idea of like this whole like openness and all this whatever. But clients just asked to have a door and have an office.
Oh, a door they could close.
Yeah, a door they can close, and they can have their conversations, or they can block out what's going on outside. And it's been really interesting, because when you start a project, you have this ideal of what it's supposed to be and all your values and whatnot. But then when it comes down to reality, you have to work for your customers.
Sometimes you have to.
I think that's kind of the fun part about it, is you don't really know when you're starting what it is you're building a lot of times until you start getting that feedback, and then I think that kind of makes it fun, right?
Absolutely, that's life.
Yeah.
How long ago did you start it?
Box Jelly, we started in 2011, summer 2011, so about like a little over 3 years now.
And did you start off with did you have some core people who said, if you build that, I will be there?
Not really.
Just a dream.
Yeah, it was just a test.
Okay, so
It was an experiment.
where did you come up with the idea for it?
So there are a few places where it came from. So my partner went to Cambodia on his way back. He was there for like a year. On his way back, he got stuck in Incheon Airport in Seoul, and he's a super friendly guy. So he'd like walk up to people like, "Hey, how you doing?" And they'd just be like, "I don't know who you are. You know, I don't want to talk to you." And then he ended up getting a pass to go into the airport lounge. And inside the airport lounge, he talked to people. People would talk back. You know, there was like, he'd get a little snack. You know, he could do some work. And the people that he talked to when he did, they were really interesting, right? Everyone's like going somewhere, doing something cool. And it was like he had a really great experience. So I was in Shanghai, and I had been to a co-working space for a bunch of different, like, these like chit chats. So I was like it was weird. Like, I got my degree in finance, but they put me in an internship in art. So I was like with these artists doing this like chit chat conversation things, and it was just kind of like an open conversation about, you know, their projects. It's kind of like what you do here probably, where there's talking about the projects, and it's like a give and take. And then I saw people working. I was like, I don't know what that is, and I got a postcard. So when I finished that internship, I came back to Hawaii. We went to Bangkok Chef, and then Tony is like, you don't know it yet, but you're a part of my team. I was like, okay, sure. You better, yeah, what is your idea? And he's like, well, I want to create an airport lounge outside of an airport. And I was like, I think you better find a better idea than that, because that doesn't make me really want to do it. And he told me the story, and I was like, you know what? You know, I went to a place similar to that, and I took out that postcard. For some reason, I was carrying it around, and I was like going all over the world with this like postcard in my notebook. And I was like, you mean like this? And he's like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And then we started working on it in the Hogan Entrepreneurs for his senior project. I had finished school, but I kind of went back into school to do it as, you know, I was just pretending to go to school. It was really weird, but I was sneaking into school to work on this project with him. And we had we had about a team of maybe like 7 people that were working on the project throughout school. And then, you know, at the end, we decided it was viable, so we opened.
So when you say working on the project, you're talking about putting together a business plan and figuring out actual logistics.
Yeah, it was like
of how this will work.
senior project.
Yeah,
Okay. So it was
okay.
just kind of like
Awesome.
a business plan thing. And a lot of times people are like, you don't need a business plan. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I kind of agree, but then again, you know, we were the ones that put together a business plan, so what am I going to say about that?
Hey, when I put together my business plan, I didn't need the business plan for anyone other than myself, and it was very helpful. I
Yeah, it makes you-
asked and answered a lot of questions in that business plan.
yeah.
It's the same as a grant proposal, too.
Yeah.
You are forced to think things
it
out in a
through.
very linear fashion with milestones. And,
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a great exercise.
So how are you doing vis-a-vis your business plan? When was the last time you looked at it?
Yeah, exactly right. Probably about 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, no. But yeah, I think it's been a really winding path, but we've basically built a lot of what we had intended to do in some ways, and but we've done way more than we had ever expected, and completely exceeded expectations. Completely, like, we're just like, when I think about it, from creating an airport lounge out of an airport to you know, building the co-working space and all the different projects that have spawned from that. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It's pretty awesome. I love the vibe in there. We're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
We'll come right back. We will be right back. This is Center Stage on the Think Tech Hawaii Digital Series. Stay tuned.
I'm Hong Jiang, host for Asia in Review on Tuesdays.
And I'm David Day, host for Asian Review on Thursdays. Both of us broadcast our respective shows at 4 p.m.
And my topics tend to deal with questions related to environment, culture, history, and sometimes human rights.
And my shows tend to be on international business, foreign policy, geopolitics, and national security. And you can watch our shows live on the ThinkTech website at thinktechhawaii.com.
And you can also watch us on YouTube or Olalo.
So come join us on Thursdays at 4 p.m. I'm David Day.
And on Tuesdays at 4 p.m., I'm Hong Jiang.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Hi, we're back and we're live. This is Center Stage on the Think Tech Hawaii digital series. We are coming to you from Pioneer Plaza in the heart of downtown Honolulu, very near Kumukuhui Theater, where I am the proud managing director. I'm the proud managing director when I'm over here too. I'm talking with Rei-Chung Fujihara, and we started off talking about the box jelly. And I love it that you guys wanted to make it feel like an airport lounge outside of an airport. There's so much about airports that I love, and one of them is the idea of everyone coming together, and for the most part, when you are in one of those spaces when everybody is working, it seems to be a very friendly and respectful space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is what I see at the Box Jelly. I love it that you put art there, and now you have Morning Glass there. They have a very nice cup of coffee. Morning Glass is one of the few coffee shops on the island that also serves a very nice cup of decaffeinated coffee, which is important to some of us. Just had to say that. So are you at capacity?
We're pretty close to capacity right now. Yeah, so we're looking at different ways that we can expand.
How's that? What are you thinking of?
We really want to. There's a whole upstairs area that we want to take. So we're working on that. We need co-signer. So if you're a possible co-signer, let me know.
It's working. You should throw in. Is this a viable business? Are you in the black?
Yeah, we're in the black, which feels good because it's a lot less stressful than the first year and a half when I was on Think Tech, and we were definitely not in the black.
We'll get to more of that later. Rachel, this is not Rei-Chung's first Think Tech rodeo.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I think it's an interesting business model, and it's really thinking about what other things can we do with Box Jelly beyond co-working, right? So our mission is to help make Hawaii the best place to work and the best place to live, right? So in Hawaii, it's hard to make a living, right? Yeah. And most of our friends leave, and me and Tony, we just wanted to stay in Hawaii and help other people stay in Hawaii, and kind of create interesting projects and be surrounded by people who do that, and so we're kind of seeing what else we can do with the mission. How else can we help people see that there is an option to be independent, and maybe some of the steps and tools in order to do that.
Like what?
Yeah, so I think, for instance, it's like sometimes you might say you're talking to like a high schooler, right? And it's like, what do you want to be? I want to be a doctor. I want to be a dentist, But they don't even fathom the possibility of like starting a company or freelancing as like a path, And I think that's kind of rough, especially, when the college is basically training people to work in corporations, and there's not a lot of that going on out here in Hawaii. And especially if you're not like connected, like what are you gonna do, right?
Right.
So, I see a space where we can, teach people about, just the steps of like how you can become an entrepreneur, and we do that through the Jump School program, right, which is a lean startup program to help find customers and money and stuff. But I'm not gonna go too deep into that. And there's also Blue Startups, right, which also helps. So there are different ways to do it, but I really, not just me, but our whole team, really feels that entrepreneurship is, very, very key to making Hawaii a viable place to live. Creating interesting jobs. Right?
Well, and there's so many people here who have several jobs.
Oh yeah.
Several different things that they do. And I would like to, if you don't mind, a little later, I would like to talk about Blue Startups. And
Sure.
Yeah, I'd like to get into those a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know you're very open to Kokua.org had a class.
Oh, yeah, Kokua is
from,
awesome.
Mad Mimi came in and taught a class on
Yeah.
email marketing. So are there more classes like that you are offering in Box Jelly?
Yeah, so we do a variety of classes, and usually it's with a partner. So we've done crowdfunding classes with Island Funder. We've done classes on Bitcoin with Bitcoin Hawaii to like see what the opportunities are there. Like I said, we do Jump School, which is a lean startup program. We do Next, powered by Google for entrepreneurs, which is another course focusing on customer discovery. So learning about, I guess the problem is that a lot of times people build businesses and they build things that people don't want, and they don't find out until they've wasted a lot of time, money, heartache, and then it's just like, and you're just like, oh man, like if you would have just like talked to more people and find out, what it is they actually want and what they're willing to pay for, you could have been a lot more efficient. So we try to help people learn how to do that with Next as well as Jump School. Yeah, so we do a bunch of different kind of courses through partners usually.
Awesome. And what are some of the companies that you have who have regular spots at Box Jelly now? I'm just curious about the makeup of your population.
Okay, so I talked about Uber. I talked about Kua. They're awesome. We have B-Stripe. B-Stripe's kind of like this lab of like creating really interesting kind of technologies, usually in the web. And the kind of cool thing about there is their investor, Steve Markowitz, brought them from Japan and the mainland here. He's like, okay, I'm investing in you, but you have to come to Hawaii. So that was a great kind of success story. And they're doing like a lot of cool things with kind of privacy and stuff like that. Who else do we have? We have a bunch of architects in there. Common Cause Hawaii, another nonprofit. They're awesome. They're based out of Box Jelly. We have writers, a bunch of writers.
I bet that would be a really nice space to just go and take some time to drill into your head and your computer.
Yeah. No, people, yeah, we like writers. Developers, people building games, people like they just got a new Oculus Rift, which is like a 3D goggles, the new version. We have all kinds of people in fashion. We have a designer, Moon Collective, Benny, and he's also the curator of our space now. He used to do it back in San Francisco, where he's from. But he has a lot of his clothes are pretty hot right now. It's like streetwear, as well as Jasmine with Salt and Sand.
So no, wait a minute. A designer, you don't have someone there with a sewing machine there.
No. So he does graphic tees right now.
Oh, okay.
But we're exploring the idea of how can we get more deep into fashion. Yeah, I think it would be fun. So,
Upstairs.
Yeah, I mean, I think like it's very interesting to think like the tools and techniques that we use with technology and how can we apply that to other industries, which one of them could be fashion or it could be, whatever. So yeah, you'll probably hear more about those kind of ideas later on if it makes sense,
if
right?
It works.
After we do our interviews and we talk to people and see if it makes sense. But there's a lot of momentum out there right now, I think, with Hi-Fi and Cut Collective and various designers that it seems like it could be fun.
Yeah. There's something to be said for getting a room full of writers together and letting them do their thing and then have coffee breaks or whatever.
Yeah.
There's also something to be said for getting a designer and a writer and Uber in the same room because there is so much common ground with all of our businesses, for profit as well as nonprofit, and it's really nice to share those ideas.
Yeah, it's fun.
Share the synergy and the ideas as well.
Yeah, it's super fun.
What do you get from this? What does this bring to you? You have one of the dedicated spaces there.
Yeah, so I have an office in the back. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it yet, but I really like the office.
Well, there's your
Yeah,
start.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm thinking about my next project right now. And I don't know. It's just like being around like a lot of amazing people is probably the most interesting part and the biggest benefit that I feel. I mean, you know, we're just surrounded by people doing really, really cool stuff. Like one of our guys, just Dan Lin, he works for a nonprofit called Prel, and you know, he lives a really kind of cool lifestyle, and he just left to go on the Hokulea for 2 months. It's like, okay, you know,
Oh,
I'll see you
wow.
in a couple months, you know, and he just like having those conversations and like learning more about what that's about, and you know what he's about to go through, like stuff like that is like super interesting. Or it could be, you know,
Hold on for just a second. I'm going to give
Oh.
you a moment to catch that breath. We're going to be right back. We're going to take a quick break. This is Center Stage on the Think Tech Hawaii Digital Series. We'll be right back.
Aloha, my name is Willow Chang Elion, and I host a show called The Art of Life. We air live every Friday from 2 to 3 p.m. And what we do is basically we focus on individuals who create a unique sense of place for Hawaii. These are movers and shakers, artists, innovators. They are also traditionalists. They're all involved in the archival process, and they make this place a unique place, one that makes Hawaii a richer place to be. I hope you do join us, and certainly tell your friends about the show, whether they live here or they live abroad. It's a way to give back to our community. We're keeping it real.
Hi, we're back. This is Center Stage on the Think Tech Hawaii Digital Series. We are coming to you live from Pioneer Plaza in the heart of downtown Honolulu, very near Kumukuhua Theater. Okay, so I'm sorry I cut you off mid-thought. You talked about the guy who went on the Hokulea, and then there's
Dan.
someone else you were about to say.
yeah, or
Something else
Yeah, what
very
else?
cool going on there.
yeah, there's always, yeah, I don't know. I forgot what I was saying. Sorry, we had to break, but
It's
yeah,
okay.
no, it's just this is always a really interesting conversation, you know, and a lot of times it's like towards the end of the day with a beer, and you're just talking with people like, oh, what is that about? And yeah, we're just, yeah, I mean that's the benefit. That's probably the biggest benefit, and then the ability to just like create.
Yeah, and the belief that it's all possible. I think what you've got there at Box Jelly is a space where you bring the possible into
Yeah.
fruition, into
That's true.
manifestation.
That's true.
And I can't tell you how many times I've been in a conversation and some social gathering and some really great ideas start popping, and you know, you're all excited about it, but then when it gets back to the normal daily grind, where do you squeeze that
Yeah.
in? And you've also created a world
It's
where
like the conference world, right? You like go to a conference and then you're like, okay, that was awesome, I'm inspired, and then
yeah.
it's just like, dude, and you're just
this
like,
is going to change my life, and then
yeah,
you go back on
yeah,
Monday,
yeah,
and
yeah.
So what you've got, what you've surrounded yourself with, Jump School and Blue Startups and Box Jelly, is manifesting the possible.
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
have a saying,
What's your saying?
it's get done, right?
Oh, we can
Four
say
letter word there.
we can say get shit done. We can say
We
that.
can?
Here. There's no FCC here.
Oh, nice.
You're used to the OC16 shows.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, so we could definitely like our motto is get shit done, and it's more than a hashtag. It's just like, you know, we just want execution.
happen.
You know, tons of ideas like, oh, I could have thought of Twitter. Yeah, well, you didn't do it, so it doesn't really matter.
I invented
right?
Facebook.
Yeah.
A friend of mine over cocktails. And
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, almost 20 years ago.
Yeah. That's rough.
We just
You
didn't
must
have
be
the
kinda kicking yourself
algorithm.
in it a little bit right now.
We are. I've got the napkin that we drew it out on. This is what you should be able to get in, and you can invite your friends. You can
Yeah.
talk to your friends. And you can find out when their birthdays are.
Yeah, you should
You know,
have missed. You should have met those twins. They could have hooked you up
Yeah,
with
if
some
it
money
had just
and
been me. So let's talk about Blue Startups. Let's
Sure.
break that down a little bit.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, so Blue Startups is a seed accelerator. I likened it to a school. So, say Blue Startups versus an MBA program. MBA program, you get a bunch of smart people together to learn about business. do startups, get a whole bunch of smart people together to learn about business. But it's a little bit different where with the MBA program, you learn about case studies and things of this nature. And Blue Startups, you are the case study, right? In an MBA program, instead of the student paying money to a school for Blue Startups, it's like, we will give you money for a piece of your company, 6% of your company, because we believe in you and you are going to succeed. And when you succeed, we will get back what we gave you and more, right? So it's a little different there. The teaching style is different, right? So not only is it hands-on because you're building your business, but with Blue Startups, we surround you with mentors, right? So you're going to have a lead mentor who's going to be, you know, your mentor, main mentor, but you also have like access to like, you know, over like, I don't know, 6, 7 dozen other mentors who can, you know, help you in different kind of specialties. So it's like, oh, I need to learn more about finance or VC or design, whatever it is, right? We have people that can help you learn about that. And another similar point is that there's a lot of peer learning, right? So you're gonna be in a group, which is your team or your company,
Okay.
but also with all the other companies in the cohort, you learn from all of them as well. And it's also kind of, you don't get a diploma, of course, but we help you raise money at the end. So
You
hopefully
you
you
help
could
people
get,
actually do it.
yeah, get, you know, maybe $1 million or something, and you make the next step, hopefully. Maybe.
So if I wanted to get involved in Blue Startups and I have an idea for a way to tailor make clothes online, and this is what I have an idea, and I come to you, are you going to tell me you need to develop this further and then come back, or are you going to say you're in?
Idea alone will probably not get you in, although it's happened before. I mean, we're looking for a few things, right? It's not just the idea, but of course the team, right? Why are you the one that's gonna to make it happen? The idea itself has to be scalable, right? Because these companies, in order for the model to work, the companies need to be able to, you know, either sell to another company or have an IPO and, you know, sell stock to public. So this is a kind of scale. It has to be a scalable kind of company. So say you wanted to tailor make clothes, you know, how would you be able to do it in order to reach enough people, you know, in order to be making X millions a year?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so if I come to you then and I say, I have an idea to tailor make clothes via the internet, and I've got a software developer who's in and has a way to do this, and I've got the people who are going to develop the sewing machines that are going to do this automatically. I don't need the people. Am I ready to start now?
You'd be on the right track. It's a possibility depending on who you are, but I think the other piece of the puzzle is, have you interacted with customers in order to know that your idea is a good idea? Like, everyone has like ideas, right? But is this something that someone's going to buy, and how many people have bought, right? Okay. So the idea of getting some kind of traction, some kind of validation from the customers can also be a really, really important piece of an application. Not all teams have had that.
Had what?
Have had some kind of validation, so customers basically, and
okay,
you know, that's by no means is it a requirement, but it's one of the things that really makes companies stick out when you're looking, you know, through. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of applications. We're just going through applications, right? And you know, you just kind of like, first you're kind of skimming, like boom, 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 like, you know, looking at different parts, and of course, like, you know, how much, if they made X amount of money, you know, then you're like, oh, that's more interesting. Let's put this in the maybe pile, or the, you know, definite maybe pile. Right?
So you are really looking to help and give people a way of developing themselves, but you're also looking to turn a profit. You want to invest where it's.
It is an investment, And I think that brings a sense of urgency, to everybody. It's somewhat of a safe environment, though, right? It's not like you're like us taking out credit cards and school loans and stuff. Like you're, you know.
You've got some investors
Mm-hmm.
in there, or
Yeah. So you'll have Blue Stars will be an investor,
okay.
and we'll help you get other investors.
Oh,
A lot of times the companies have some kind of tech component to them. The main reason why is because technology can scale quicker, as in technology is not even the right word, but like distribution through the internet or through apps or whatever. But yeah, it's not like some of our S companies like Flowwater has nothing to do with that. Flowwater, they're like machines. When you press the button and like cool filtered water comes out of the thing, right? That's Flowwater.
Okay.
Volta, same thing. You're charging cars, right? So it's not those don't have really an internet play to them. So.
And you developed both of those?
They're both the first cohort of Blue Startups.
Oh, okay. So, and how long has it been going on?
We're entering our 4th cohort, 2 years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It must be amazing to be around that much creative energy.
It's pretty fun. Yeah. Yeah, it's like you wish you were them, like doing, like it's hard. It's not easy, and there's a lot of crazy founder stress and stuff, but.
Founder stress.
Yeah,
There's founder stress.
Oh yeah, the world's falling apart. It's happened before. Yeah.
So, so if I come to you with my idea for tailor-making clothes on the internet, and I say, here's all these case studies, it works, people want it. Levi's been doing it for a few years, and I've got the team, and I've got the people, and I know I have years in customer service and everything. You take me in, and how long do I expect to be in your incubator?
So the accelerator program is 3 months long.
3 months, and then when I get accelerated out, what can I expect to have?
What you put into it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. So I'm coming out with, now I've got a business plan. I'm ready to go to work. I'm ready to go to work now. I've got the support that I need, and I've figured out where I need
already
to be.
have customers. You should be selling.
Awesome. Okay. And what about Jumpstart? What
Jump School.
Jump School. Sorry.
So Jump School is the structure a little bit different. So it's a rolling program. So there's no beginning and no end. And we focus on a very early part of the process, which is figuring out, is getting your first customers and getting to a place called product market fit. So product market fit is the point where you have a line, basically, if people want to buy your product. Probably easiest kind of way to describe it. And yeah, we help you get to that point. And once you get to that point, maybe it's a good time to enter a program like Blue Startups, an accelerator program, or if you're cash flow positive, you could bootstrap it and just, do it yourself. Yeah, so there are different, like I think with Jump School, it's really, in the end, it's not really the best way to sell it, but really what it is like, it helps people think like lean startup entrepreneurs, and we do it also through practice. So you can't just come in like, hey, I want to learn. You have to have a project, right?
Okay.
So it's the same, and you work on your project, and there's a roadmap. So and we take a lot of metrics. So the roadmap is like, okay, first, what is your vision? Write down your vision. Who are your customers? Let's do profiles on your customers. Let's interview your customers. Let's put up like a website. So there are different things you have to do along the way. And then there are very clear metrics on how many customers have bought your product, how many customers have come back and bought again. So there are like a bunch of different, there's a lot more, I guess, it's a different kind of structured kind of way of doing it. whereas Blue Startups is very tailored to the companies, and the structure is different. Like you also have learning sessions where you have people coming down and teaching all kinds of amazing things. But yeah, the Jump School is very focused on just customers.
Okay, and if I wanted to come to Jump School,
Mm-hmm.
in the little scenario that I gave you, what components do I need to come to Jump School with?
You just have to have an idea
Oh,
and drive.
so that's where you head first.
That's where you head first. You have an idea, you have some drive. You can go to a website, jumpschool.co, and you can look at all the curriculum and everything there, and you can do it on your own if you want to. But you get a lot more value when you have a coach and you have peers to learn from.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. And camaraderie and
Yeah, it's just fun.
Synergy and
Yeah, it's a
all
good
that.
time.
you have so much going on that we're almost out of time, and I feel like we've barely scratched the surface. Now, I have to talk a little bit more about this. Yeah, you taught at the Cathedral St. Canon School, which was ranked the #1 school in India. And you studied in Tokyo, Japan, and interned in Shanghai. Is this something that you, I mean, the main idea, the idea I understand came from the airport and something that you saw in Cambodia, but is that a path you feel like you were on? Do you think that this is just the way of the future? People, co-working spaces?
I think it will be a larger percentage of people will be working this way.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be everybody. I don't think it's good for everybody even, because different people have different ways of working and different companies need to operate in different ways. But I think it will be a larger chunk of people.
Have you always been drawn to it?
No, I had no idea. I mean, I've done so many random jobs and stuff, and I graduated degree in finance. My internship was in art. I was hanging out with underground rockers and stuff, and it's just it's been a really windy path.
Oh, wow.
And if you would have asked me 5 years ago, would I be doing co-working, I would be like, what is co-working?
Well, yeah, and what would you have said 5 years ago? If I would have said 5 years ago, where do you want to be in 2014?
So that was, I just got back from Japan. I don't know. I would probably say run a hedge fund or something. No, that was after the crazy hey, let's steal everyone's money thing.
Yeah, the Ponzi
Um,
crash.
But yeah, first I wanted to be a hedge fund manager. That's not first, but it was between the hedge fund manager kind of time and I have no idea, but I want to go to Asia time.
Oh,
Yeah, so I just wanted to I wanted to live in China, but it was just so polluted. I was like, no, it's not gonna work.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's when we decided to stay in Hawaii.
So, but you interned there. Sorry, my earpiece just popped out.
Yeah.
Oh, and let's talk real quickly. You have spent some time here at ThinkTech. You anchored the news for a couple of years.
Yeah. That's actually a big part of what geared us up to do Box Jelly was before Box Jelly started, we started going on ThinkTech to make this company, and then we just said on ThinkTech, yeah, we're building this co-working space, and we really hadn't
Hadn't thought about it. Just fell out of your
we
mouth.
thought about it, but it was not it wasn't really as real until we had told the world that we're going to build this co-working space, and then we just executed. So we were on ThinkTech from before Box Jelly opened until maybe about a year and a half into the life of the company.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I'd love to see those old videos.
They are all archived on
Yeah.
thinktechhawaii.com. I can help you
wanna pull
find
them off.
those.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting.
Just look for the playlist OC16.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all in there. That is really cool. And you know what? I've talked with, just recently I've talked with a couple of actors, improv actors and writers, and we've talked about how amazing it is, how sometimes something comes out of your mouth and you watch as you are creating something as it's coming out of your mouth. That really happened for you. You have a business application for that.
Yeah, now
You
Yeah,
gotta
words are
watch what you
powerful.
say.
Yeah, words are powerful, right? 4 agreements. Words are magic.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that the world that you've created really offers even more opportunity for that too. More space for all of us to be more creative. It makes me want to come over there and put together I have had this idea about tailoring clothing online for a
So,
long time.
I think it's a good idea.
Come over and
Yeah.
to see how Levi's is doing. You can go to levis.com and get it done now. Oh, let's do that. Let's talk about all of your websites and where you are. Box Jelly is in Kaka'ako.
Yeah, we're in Kaka'ako, 307 A Kaka'ako, right next to Fish Cake and Morning Glass, 307C, Kamani Street. So that's one street, Eva from Sports Authority, so parallel to Ward.
Where should people park if they go there? You've got to get that question a lot.
Yeah, definitely. There's street parking, and if you want to park, give us a call and we will tell you where to park. There are places to park,
Fabulous.
and we have access to legit parking, but I don't want to throw it out there like that.
Oh, okay.
Just because, like,
No,
be
gotcha. That's
respectful.
cool.
Yeah.
Or you can call an Uber.
Or yeah, you
And
can
get there
definitely
that
call an
way.
Uber. You know,
Um,
don't call a Lyft. They'll
Don't call.
yeah.
Those mustaches are going to get dirty one of these days.
Yeah, you know, we like them too, but just don't bring it here because we have too many Uber people.
So boxjelly.com.
Yeah, theboxjelly.com.
The Box Jelly.
Theboxjelly.com.
Startups?
Bluestartups.com.
And Jump School.
And jumpschool.co. Jumpschool.co.
.co. Okay. Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I finally got this opportunity to have you as my captive and just ask you questions like this. It's
It's just,
but
I enjoy it.
oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You have to say that.
I do. Right, it's true.
I enjoy learning about what you do, and I may be hitting you up one of these days. You never know. Okay, I got to wrap up. Thank you so much for being here. We're happy to have you visiting with us on Center Stage. We're on the Think Tech Hawaii digital series. You can find all of our shows archived on thinktechhawaii.com, and they are also hanging out on YouTube. I would like to thank Zuri Bender, who is in my ear. Thank you, Zuri. You're doing an excellent job. She's our new production manager. I would like to thank Chrissy Goffigan, who is our communications director, and Jay Fidel, who somehow manages to put it all together. We hope to see you here next week. I'm not sure who we have next. If you have any suggestions for me, hit me up. You can tweet me at allaboutdonna. Talk to you soon. Thanks.